I would love to cover the Vector or the Fennec like right now and get a video out and get a bunch of views on it, but I haven't used the weapon enough yet, so I don't really have a lot of recommended classes. I don't have every attachment, so bear with me guys. I don't want to rush out a video. I know a lot of YouTubers are already uploading their clickbaity better than the MP5 style videos. You know, like when the Bruin came out and Noah J said it was better than the M4 in his title and thumbnail. Yeah, see, I don't do that kind of shit. I like to have a little bit of credibility with you guys, so, you know, we're not doing that. But the one thing I can talk about is Scrapyard, and Scrapyard is easy to talk about because they just ported over the Modern Warfare 2 version with a dark plume of smoke where lighter smoke used to be, and there you go. This is Scrapyard. We've seen it in Ground War in this game, we've seen it in the Warzone map, and we have seen this in Call of Duty Ghosts, but I want to talk about that real fast here. You see, when this map was brought into Call of Duty Ghosts, it was brought in with a completely different aesthetic theme, new interactable environments, and it overall felt like a new map, but it played like the original. And I love it for that. I love maps that look different, have different gimmicks and interactable things, but they are based on an old map's tried and true design. Scrapyard was a solid map in Modern Warfare 2, and I think reinventing it aesthetically is a fun and interesting way to bring back its original flow. So, my problem with Modern Warfare's version is that there's nothing really to be upset or happy with. It's just a Scrapyard, but the one thing I guess I can say about it that's really nice is the visibility on it is fantastic. It's very clean, it's very clear. Like I said in my first impressions video, it's a very striking map when it comes to colors and sharpness. It's great, it's easy to see shit, and I love that. Modern Warfare has a problem with bad visibility, too much particles and dust effects and smog and smoke and dust and crap and shit everywhere. Luckily this is clean, it's nice. The only real obstruction is the big plume of smoke by the oil containers, or the fuel tanks, or the truck. I forget exactly what's in that corner now that I'm trying to talk about it. But either way, Scrapyard was and is and always will be, if this design is used again, a choke point watching sniper map with a middle lane that allows for covered rushing. What makes the middle part of the map so interesting to me is that it's all of these protected tubes, these broken parts of planes, so you have a lot of cover on your sides and top. The only real way enemies can kill you is if they aim down into the planes and then shoot you while you're coming towards them or running away from them. That's the only thing they can do, and each side of the middle area has these tubes that lead to one side of the map or the other. So it's a way for you to push up while being completely concealed, and you can get a foothold closer to the enemy spawn or closer to the enemy sniper building without fully exposing yourself. Other than that, the two sides have always been these tight choke point areas that are very, very unforgiving, and if you try to move away from those tight choke point areas and come at them from the middle of the map, you are exposed to the sniper areas on each side of the map, on the tall building on one side and the shorter building on the other, the 3-story and the 2-story. Now obviously Modern Warfare has its own set of mechanics. It's not going to play like Ghosts, Ghost didn't play like Modern Warfare 2, and that's obvious. Like obviously there's different creative class options, there's different movement mechanics, there's different weapons that behave differently. Obviously it can't play exactly the same as it did back in Modern Warfare 2 or in any other COD, it's a different game. The one thing I really like about Modern Warfare's version is that Modern Warfare has built-in unlimited sprint and tac sprint. So getting through the middle is, I think, the easiest it's ever been. The good enemies I've played against on this map are constantly flanking, they're constantly pushing up. Now of course though, it is Scrapyard, so you're gonna see snipers, you're gonna have a lot of snipers, because it's a lot of corridors that are worth watching, it's a lot of open lanes that are worth watching. There's 2 buildings on each side that really just beg for somebody to snipe from them. I've seen some people saying, bring back 24/7 shipment, I hate this new map. It's like, I don't know, I feel like some Call of Duty players just want to easily complete challenges, but I think other ones like genuinely have a problem with problem solving and dealing with complex areas that have their own complex challenges. I mean, I do sometimes as well, but you know, doesn't mean I want to go retreat to the lowest common denominator. Honestly, if you're one of those shoot house shipment Rust 24/7 players and that's all you want to play, your opinion on new maps being added to the game means a lot less. You apparently already lowered your standards down to, I want random small clusterfucky engagements with terrible spawns so I can complete challenges and make numbers show up on my screen faster. So yeah, I don't really want to hear your take on how gameplay should be. Moment-to-moment gameplay needs to have ups and downs, lows and highs, fast and slow paced, otherwise I become bored. See, my brain requires variety, and we are like, what, 7+ months into this game, and people still are freaking out that not every map is Raid from Black Ops 2. I'm sorry, not everything is going to be linear, 3-lane, simple, easy to predict, easy to control. And Scrapyard is honestly a pretty solid map in its core design, and Modern Warfare isn't a terrible game to have it in. And fans of any other FPS, they have to be laughing at the COD players that can't handle maps as complicated as Scrapyard, or they think that Scrapyard is a slow-paced, campy map. Or, for some reason, think that it just now is, because it always had a just plethora of snipers and corridor watchers. If you think it didn't, you remembered wrong. You remembered poorly. Remember, Modern Warfare 2 didn't have point streaks or score streaks either. Modern Warfare 2 had stacking kill streaks. There was literally no reason for somebody to not just corridor watch your spawn area and kill you till they get their chopper gunner and chopper gunner you until they nuke the map. Don't tell me Modern Warfare 2 played better, it just played differently. Between automatically stacking kill streaks, death streaks, super low recoil weapons, terrible tick rate, and so on and such forth, I just really don't want to hear how much better Modern Warfare 2's version of Scrapyard played. Modern Warfare 2 had Danger Close. You spent most of your time on Scrapyard getting noob tubed. I don't want to hear it. Modern Warfare has its problems, I've ranted enough about them, but I'm honestly more annoyed with the people that pretend that this is somehow the inferior version of this map. Honestly, it plays pretty damn well. And this is coming from somebody that's mostly been playing this AR-designed map with a really, really close-range SMG like the Vector, or the Fennec. I really just want to call it the Vector. But yes, Modern Warfare has its problems. I spent a good amount of my live stream yesterday getting RPG'd, Car 98'd, C4 sandwiched, MP5'd. I don't need to be, made aware of the issues. I've talked about how the minimap needs to return to normal and all that. It's just not a game-ruining, apocalyptic level issue that just is going to force me into shitty maps all day. No. But for 6v6 fans of multiplayer, this is the only 6v6 map we got. It's a map that's technically already been in the game in Warzone and Ground War, and so that makes it lackluster. If this was in a playlist with another new 6v6 map like they did last season where we got Sawmill and Backlot, I would love Scrapyard more. But I feel like I'm gonna bore myself of Scrapyard if I just keep playing the 24/7, and instead, I should just treat it like the thing that it actually is, and the thing that it should actually be praised for, and that is a bit of variety in your playlist. So when you go to matchup in Kill Confirmed or Domination or Hardpoint, those game modes will now be on a new map. So that's cool. So it's not just Piccadilly and Backlot, which I've only been getting Piccadilly and Backlot recently. I don't know what's wrong with me, but that's all I keep getting. Variety is a good thing, the fact that it's free for everybody is a great thing, but Infinity Ward, why didn't you release a night version of this map if you weren't going to bring us another 6v6 map? Like, honestly, it'd be really great to have a playlist where we go between day and night versions of the map back and forth. I think that'd be really fun. But instead, there it is, plop, there's Scrapyard, we knew it was coming, but here it is. I don't know. I'm not exactly super hyped for Scrapyard. It's not one of my favorite maps. It's the map that's on my list of maps I like but wouldn't ask to be brought back. It's on that list. I don't know if everyone else has that list, but I have one, and there it is. The last thing I want to mention before I close up this video is, how are they picking these maps? Like, who is begging for Scrapyard over maps like High Rise? Who is begging for that over maps like Terminal? Or other fan-favorite Modern Warfare 2 era maps? Modern Warfare 2 is a lot of people's favorite COD game, and yet we've only gotten Rust and Scrapyard. I'm sorry, why haven't we seen Favela? Why haven't we seen more popular MW2 maps? I don't get it. How about some MW3 maps? Where's Arcaden? Where's Dome? It's very weird. It feels like they just sort of pick these maps at random. I've never seen people say, give us Scrapyard. I've never seen that. Like, Backlot was an interesting choice because Backlot and Crash, okay, but why not Crossfire? Crossfire is the fan favorite Call of Duty 4 map, so why not put in Crossfire? It's like when Advanced Warfare brought in Pipeline from COD 4. It's like, I love Pipeline. Who the fuck was asking for it in Advanced Warfare? What a weird pre-order bonus. But yeah, no dynamic events, no new aesthetic or theme, didn't launch alongside anything else to really make it a more substantial feeling content update for fans of traditional multiplayer. Yeah, it's bright, well lit, it's easy to see people, it's Scrapyard to Scrapyard to Scrapyard, so you play it like Scrapyard or you cry about it on Twitter. and that's how it is. I recorded like a 5-minute version of this earlier today, but I didn't like it. It was too, here's the map, and it was just not me. It wasn't the kind of content I like to make. Because you guys know me, I'll just rant about anything. I'm just a stupid hater. I don't know what I think about Modern Warfare. I'm just angry all the time, right? Whatever. I'll see you when I see you guys. Goodbye.